on software standard and requirements. And I'm going to briefly introduce this course. Basically, I'm going to talk about syllabus, but the summary of the syllabus. I already posted the syllabus in the course page, so you can just take a look at the syllabus. And in this course, we're going to learn basically these subjects, principle and practice and process of developing and establishing and managing the requirement of the software system and the software standard. And in this, I have your list of the subject, like important subject right there, but the most important subject we're going to focus on in this class is writing software requirements specifications. And we're going to also learn about or talk about the software standards and process. But the software standard basically to provide some kind of guidelines and a guideline to establish software writing and software the requirements process, and also some kind of template to produce the requirement-related artifacts. So ultimately, the outcome of this this software requirement process is going to be the software requirement specifications. Okay, so we're going to talk about anyway the process and the software standard, especially the standard related requirements, in addition to writing requirement specifications. Okay, now we have here my personal information here, then here in my office CS421 and phone number and email address, and I have office hours. And Tuesday, Wednesday, 2 to 4. This office hours is really for not only for this class, but I also teach regular class, and then basically you can come during my office hour. If you really want to see me face to face and discuss about the course or any topic you really want to discuss with me, then you are welcome to visit my office. And also, if you cannot come, of course, you can call my office number, then definitely you can have conversation and to talk about your need and issues. And the course materials I'm expecting is we have one required textbooks written by Wiggers and Carson Wiggers, and we've been using this textbook for a long time. I think this textbook is one of I believe one of the best textbooks I have read so far. Then I may use other material like supplemental material, but I think we'll mainly use this textbook. So I recommend you to buy this textbook and read the textbook in addition to my course lectures. And also we're going to use the supplemental book, but implementing software engineering standard. Then from this book, we'll mainly focus on requirement-related subjects, because the standard book will really talk about many other related the guideline and template. So we'll mainly focus on the requirement. And I'm going to post, of course, course lectures and voice lectures, and PowerPoint slide and voice lecture on the website. And I believe you understand what it means, though. You will probably have to read the lecture note and listen to the lectures. We're in grading policy here. The requirement for the course is especially to pass this course. So I expect you all of you to participate in online discussion. I'm going to post the discussion topic regularly after we finish the major subject, and I'm going to post the course-related discussion topic on the website. And I expect you to post at least one entry for the topic posted on the website. And that will take about 10%. Then we're going to have one group projects, and group project is because group, the number of people or members I'm expecting for each group is going to be 3 to 6. I used to put numbers like my max number is 5, but since I learned from other instructors, I had to allow more members. Dr. Joe, how many members do you allow? Okay, so I try to be aligned with the other course, so because once you have a group, then you can use the same, you can actually work with the project in the same groups. You don't want to split your team members. And so I will definitely make sure then you have, I allow the same number of team members for your group project. So make sure today before you leave, and find your team member if you can, then probably find your best team members so you can just continue your work together on any project in the different classes, basically, then until you graduate. Otherwise, if you switch around and the different team, then every time you change your team, then you may have to also then go through some kind of learning process to get to know your team members. Sometimes it may be not really easy. Okay, and also we're gonna have midterm exam and final exam, then the percentage right there, then grading scale right there is typicals. And I have a course schedule right here, then I don't know, this is, the font is tiny, but I hope you can read course schedule or list of topics you're gonna cover in this class from your syllabus I already posted. And then as I mentioned, more detailed information can be found in the course syllabus. Any question?
How do we choose a group member?
Okay, so you choose your own group members, but if you are not able to find your team members, then I strongly recommend to let me know, like contact me, send me an email as soon as possible. Then I will compile the list of emails, then to find out who are looking for a team, then I will try to arrange the teams for you then. But you have to let me know as early as you can, because once the semester started, then but I'm probably like few weeks later, then you may see the first part of the projects. Because the project, I will ask you to complete this project, group project in certain stage. So for each stage, you have to produce some kind of outcomes, or you have to submit some partial works you have done related to the projects. So it is very important to find your team members as soon as possible. But if you cannot find your team members, just send me an email as soon as you can. Then I will try my best to actually arrange or find the formal group for you. Okay, but the best way, basically, of course, is to find your team members when you see actually the peoples in the face-to-face. Then ask around like their background and also their experience and also then the styles and then personality. Try to find out personality, then any other things you think is important, then will be the best ideas, I think.
You mentioned that part of the participation grade involves responding to other students' posts. So how often would we be doing that?
Participation grade, actually the most important part of the participation grade is really participating in the online discussions. So when I post the online discussion topic, then when you post your opinions related to the topic, then other people will respond if they want to. Then that actually shows enough evidence that you actually participate in the discussion. And there will be good enough. And then I will read the posting too. So that doesn't really mean I'm going to actually read, the grade every post, the entry you post, of course. But I will read every posting. Then I will have my own judgments whether you actually posted meaningful information on the related to discussion topics. So if you post something but that is completely irrelevant to the topic, then you may not expect any credit for your posting. But if you post your own opinion definitely related to the topic, is contributing to that will definitely consider as participation in the classroom. Then, and sometimes you can learn from other students too, based on the information posted by others, and based on their own experience. You will be very surprised that you end up learning a lot of things from your own classmates. Because as Dr. Cho mentioned, we have several students who have industry experience. Some of them actually have a long years of experience, that they would have in-depth understanding of the subject, and they have their own opinion, then it will be very useful information to you.
How many questions are on the midterm and final, and are they open book?
Yeah, that's good questions. All the exams, including midterm finals, will be closed book and closed note test. Based on, of course, it's very hard to enforce the closed and closed book mode, but I know, based on my experience, that when I announce this exam is closed book and closed note test, and usually I don't have any problem. Our students are very honest and have the high integrity in academic, especially academic integrities. I haven't seen any, I see occasionally a couple of students that actually misunderstood or forgot the point that this exam is closed book and closed note test. Then they showed by the answer, of course, that I can easily see whether the answer actually for the question actually is based on your own understanding without looking at the book or lecture note. But sometimes they miss the point and they make a mistake. But other than that, actually, I haven't had any really serious issue related to academic dishonesties. Even if I announce it as closed book and closed note test, and even if you take the test on your own, then it works pretty well, basically. So in terms of number of questions, really depend on the. I usually give you like enough time, like 3 hours. 3 hours usually the more than enough time to finish the exam. But actually, if you really have to take the exam in class, not in online mode, then I believe you will be able to finish the exam, both the midterm and final exam, within 2 hours. Within 2 hours. But usually the most instructors in our program basically is a little bit more flexible. So you give, because your own schedule, right? So schedule sometimes can be very difficult to accommodate that if I set a very fixed amount of time. So we give usually a little bit more extra time, like 3 hours. But this is going to be online exam, so I will explain a little bit more about the online exam later on through the email and other information I'm going to post later on later exam. But basically, I will post a question on the website. And we have two tools. I think Titanium has some kind of modules for faculty members to create the questions. Or then you just basically take the test directly from the website. And that module actually, I can set a time limit for the exam. So if I set 3 hours, then once you start your exam, then it's going to last 3 hours. So you should actually finish the exam absolutely within 3 hours once you start it. But then basically then I will have enough time, especially I will post the exam, open the exam long in advance basically. I used to post the exam on Saturday, but recently I changed based on the information from other faculty members. So sometimes they post in the Friday evening, so the student want to take the exam early. So then usually I post the exam Friday evening or Saturday. Then you are supposed to finish the exam by Sunday or Saturdays. But once you start your exam, then you have to finish the exam within 3 hours. So basically that means you take the exam only when you are really ready. Once you're ready, then you take the exam. If you're not, then you can just study a little bit more and more, then you finish the exam by the deadline. Typically it's going to be Saturday or Sunday. So number of questions, you don't have to worry about it, right? I will only give you the certain number of questions you can finish within at least, I believe it's 2 hours, but 1 hour is extra, like 3 hours typically. Any other question? Everything is good? All right. Yeah. So if you somehow missed the question, if you still have any other question after we finish this session, just feel free to come to me. Then I'll be still around right here. Then until we finish this session, then you can ask me a question later on. Okay. Nice to meet you.